Is it truly possible to separate the art from the artist who makes it? What happens when the justice system fails and a criminal is set free? What if your favorite manga and/or anime were written by a convicted criminal who was endorsed and defended by the biggest mangaka in the world? Well, this is the story of Mitsutoshi Shimabukuro.
Police arresting a 27-year-old man.
That's right, a 27-year-old man. He was on the run for about 3 hours, but police say they were able to find and arrest him at around 3 this morning.
千葉内閣の発足後、初めての国政選挙となる衆議院選挙が今日公示されます。
Mitsutoshi Shimabukuro was born May 19, 1975 in Okinawa, Japan. Not many things are known about his childhood apart from his love for anime and manga and his interest in America. America, strange I know, but it isn't surprising as Okinawa is a hub for the US military, hosting more than 80,000 Americans today. Mitsutoshi also had family in the States, specifically Arizona, which he expressed interest in visiting. He wanted to go see the Grand Canyon, saying it would be like visiting a location from Dragon Ball. We don't know if little Mitsutoshi ever achieved that dream, but it's pretty funny to mention. It wasn't long before Mitsutoshi entered the manga world at the young age of 21. In 1996, he debuted his first work called The Tale of a Leader in the End of the Century Takashi in Weekly Shonen Jump. For those of you who don't know, Weekly Shonen Jump is a weekly shonen manga anthology published in Japan by Shueisha under the Jump line of magazines. The manga series within the magazine consists of many action series and is where most of the popular manga in the world originated from. Works such as One Piece, Naruto, Dragon Ball, and Demon Slayer all started in Weekly Shonen Jump. The magazine started in 1968 and since then has sold over 9.5 billion copies, making it the best-selling comic and/or manga magazine in history. Its heyday was mid-1980s to mid-1990s, where it would sell over 6 million copies a week. It's no surprise Mitsutoshi was interested in manga, being in his teenage years during this peak of Shonen Jump Weekly. Mitsutoshi would continue to write A Tale of a Leader in the End of the Century Takashi from 1997 till 2002 with 24 volumes in total. This manga, while not massively popular, was well liked, winning him an Akatsuka Award for Best New Comic Manga Writer in his first year. His manga, shortened to Takashi, would go on to receive OVA anime specials screened at Jump Fest 1999. Mitsutoshi was a rising star in the manga community, being praised by fellow manga creators and going on to receive the Shogakukan Manga Award for Children Manga in 2001, which the fact that it's a children's manga award is a bit scary if you know what's coming. This award isn't nothing. This manga award is the oldest and one of the biggest in Japan. This was a huge break for Mitsutoshi. This award really shot him into the forefront of up-and-coming authors. That is, until suddenly in 2002, A Tale of a Leader in the End of the Century Takashi stopped being published, freezing Mitsutoshi's momentum. On August 7, 2002, Katagawa Prefecture Police and Isesaki Police Station obtained an arrest warrant for Mitsutoshi Shimabukuro. He was apprehended and brought to jail for a crime committed the previous year. In November 2001, 9 months earlier, Mitsutoshi began messaging a 16-year-old girl who he met through an online meetup website. He operated under a pseudonym and pretended to be a regular Japanese salaryman. Then, on November 12, 2001, Mitsutoshi and the 16-year-old girl met up in a hotel room where he paid her 80,000 yen, which was about $650 to perform lewd acts. This consisted of much more than just talking. The age of consent in Japan is 16, so although weird that a then 26-year-old man getting with a 16-year-old girl, it was technically legal. The issue was the exchange of money. Because the age of consent and the adult age in Japan differ, being 16 and 18 respectively, this makes the girl a child, and paying a child for sex is breaking child protection laws. The kind of app that allowed this to happen was very common in Japan and used frequently to arrange anonymous meetups and dates. But because of the anonymity, it was often littered with child prostitution. After being arrested on August 7, 2002, Mitsutoshi was actually released for about 2 weeks. He was then re-arrested on August 29th as the police had evidence to connect Mitsutoshi to 4 other instances involving paying minors for sex. He was held until sentencing, which was 2 months later, on August 29th, 2002. Mitsutoshi was sentenced to a mere 2 years in prison and 4 years probation. So that must be it. He must have served his time, got out, and disappeared. So then why is half the video left, you may ask? Well, Mitsutoshi actually never went to prison. His sentence was suspended for just a few years of probation, and what's even more frustrating is Mitsutoshi's popularity only skyrocketed in the coming years. Around this time, in issue 41 of Weekly Shonen Champion, a message was shared at the end of the volume in regards to this whole situation. Quote, "Even if the writer has problems, the work itself is a good work. Don't go out of print." This is obviously translated to English. In Japanese, it makes more sense. Ichiro Oda also made a statement after these events. You know, Oda, the creator of One Piece, the biggest manga creator of all time, saying, quote, "Even if the artist made a mistake, it is too much to try to make his work disappear." He also said Mitsutoshi was actually doing crocus, not sex trafficking. Now, I had to look this up because I didn't believe it, and I didn't know what the hell crocus meant. Well, crocus drawing is a quick and sketchy drawing of usually a live nude model. So Oda was defending him, saying, nah, he didn't have sex with a 16-year-old girl, he was just sketching her nude. Which is insane and makes me lose a lot of respect for Oda. In 2004, Mitsutoshi made his grand return to the manga world with a sports comedy called Ring, which ran for 3 volumes in Super Jump magazine, which was a bit of a demotion from his previous spot in Weekly Shonen Jump, but still a massive magazine nonetheless. In 2005, he returned to serializing his most popular manga, Takeshi. The next few years for Mitsutoshi was quiet until 2008, when he released his magnum opus, Toriko, in his old stomping ground of Weekly Shonen Jump. Toriko was an instant success and quickly entered Shonen Jump's top 10 best-selling list. Only 1 year later, in 2009, Toriko got nominated for a Manga Taisho Award and received OVA specials that aired at Jump Fest that year. Later that year, Mitsutoshi released an anthology of sorts for Toriko, which included multiple one-shots he wrote about Toriko, including ones written back in 2002. 2010 was a quiet year for Mitsutoshi. More Toriko was released and more OVAs were aired at Jump Fest. 2011 was a big year for Mitsutoshi and Toriko. Over the year, Mitsutoshi became good friends with Ichiro Oda, the creator of One Piece and the one who defended him, and they actually made a crossover special titled One Piece x Toriko, The True Food Devil Fruit. I guess Mitsutoshi and Oda became good friends and probably drew crocus together, but whatever. 2011 is also when the Toriko anime started airing. It was produced by Toei Animation and kept going until 2014. In this time, Toriko got introduced to the West, the manga by Viz Media and the anime via Funimation. The crazy thing is, you can still watch this anime to this day on Crunchyroll. A Nikkei Entertainment list came out around this time of the most successful manga artist by sales, where Mitsutoshi placed 14th, a very respectable rank. This wasn't surprising as Toriko sold 3.4 million copies since January of 2010. Mitsutoshi rode the Toriko train until 2016 when he decided to end it. You can't call Toriko anything but an outstanding success. Over its lifetime, it released 35 volumes and surpassed 22 million copies sold. This put it on par or ahead of other massive series like Fairy Tail and Gantz. After the end of Toriko, the next year, Mitsutoshi released 4 one-shots. 2 were released in April, those being Where I No Oji Pen 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 for Saikyo Jump and Chin Girl in Weekly Shonen Jump. Then in September, he released 2 more, GG 100% and Halftime. In 2018, he released a single one-shot called Build King in Weekly Shonen Jump. This one-shot then became a serialized series in 2020 in the same magazine, but only lasting 5 months, bringing us into 2021. Fans noticed the decline in quality Mitsutoshi was displaying in his new works compared to Toriko, and the sales numbers were reflecting this sentiment. Since then, we haven't seen really anything from Mitsutoshi. Whether he'll fade into obscurity or release more work in the future is anyone's guess. Mitsutoshi was once described as having the talent of the devil, and I think that's a really good way to put it. After researching and writing this video, I didn't know what to come away with. On one hand, you could argue the separation of art and artist. He was a bad person who did bad things, but his art or manga isn't him. And you can enjoy the art without liking the artist. There's been countless artists who have done terrible things, from the east to the west, from music to anime. And for the most part, I agree with the sentiment, but only so far. Personally, I agree with the notion of being able to enjoy his past work despite what he did later. But this case is different as he performed the bad act prior to making his largest work. And I feel like that's where I draw the line. Mitsutoshi was caught and convicted of hiring 5 underage girls to do things with him. He then didn't serve any time and was later celebrated and revered for his work. And it almost invalidates the crimes and those 5 girls who went through it all. It's tough to say what the right answer is, but let me know how you guys feel in the comments below and do that subscribing and liking thing too. But yeah, man, the world truly is a messed up place.